The Perth Racing Preview is where the Straight Up team finds you the winners, and here's the Straight Up team with their preview of Saturday racing from Ascot.
Yes, McGinnity, a very good afternoon.
Hi, Mart.
Braddles, how are we?
Hello, Roz. Wonderful.
Legion of fans queuing up. They want to get involved with Retrovision. 0427 789 571.
Gee, it'd be some pairing if you were to head up there onto the Bosch landing, Mart.
Oh,
you and Big John.
The big boy.
We gotta make something happen, don't we?
I think so. Hang on. 2695 maybe lad Keshu Duran 52.50 10. She's perfection $1.50.
You want to have it again?
Gold ruby $1.30. No, that'll do. 146.10 the Quinella exacta, 314.70 the trifecta, 706 even, and the first four 2695, 2,267.48 and 2 the double 203.20, and the quaddie 2582 1,332.80. Number 4 was out. So there we are. That's out of the way. Got a text there. We a bit slow getting the divs out last race. Bunbury race 5 is the Nixon Electrical. Handicap over the 1690. Your president's not a crook. Full of Merit, 480. 2 Manzor Magic, 250. 3 Striking Fella, $3. 4 Jiddo, 21. 5 Deltaran, 750. 6 Fries with that is 34. 7 Man from Memphis is 81. And 8 Run for Rob at $8.
Bradley, celebration of Life Day out there at Ascot on the weekend. What are we expecting from a weather track rail?
Oh, 3 metre rail, Roz. Medium south to south westerlies, just humming along during the day. Maybe getting a touch stronger in the arvo. So looks reasonably fairish to me. But there's that possibility if they do heat up a bit, might be preferring cover. But it seems pretty fair track at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, from all reports, expecting a bit of a southwesterly on the weekend just gone, and apparently not much of a breeze really set in late in the afternoon.
Flags were flaccid, Mart.
Well, it was blowing at my place. Obviously didn't make it down the road to Ascot.
You're just, what?
Location, Mart.
Oh, wow.
You know why. You know why.
You get a bit more breeze when you're higher up.
Yeah, that's what somebody said on the radio the other day. Let's get into it because we've been a bit late getting going here. But race number 1, and it is the Tab Touch West Speed Platinum Handicap. It's over the 1,000 metres out there at Ascot on Saturday. Jesus, it's thrown me this news. Ascot, February 1, Big Bosch.
Rattled.
Excitement.
I can't understand why we can't get him in. Would he be in Perth by Thursday? He's got to start eating sooner or later.
He might be doing some other... I know he's got a couple of other gigs elsewhere in Oz prior to touching down here in Perth, so...
What about a Saturday morning dim sum breakfast somewhere?
Just down on Rowe Street.
A couple of eye-openers as well, mate.
Here we go. One Another Strike is into $3. Capricorn Man, $6.50. Rocket Juice, $3.90. Salt Lake Shake is 4. See You at the Session is $9.50, $8.50. Star Power into 11, from 10 out to 11, I should say. And Talking Gibberish be the omen tip for me, 21 into 17.
See You at the Session might be another one, Mart. 1,300 at the 9.50. See You at the Session into 8.50. Well played. Another Strike, 500 at the $3, which you are well entitled to line up for again, and not much else to report, Rolls.
Couple of things to report off this Retrovision text line. 0427 789 571. Petter from Morley weighing in once again, who is fast rivaling Mart as one of the greatest post-race trumpeters of all time. He's gone.
Oh, come on.
He's gone with anybody else find my B lad or just myself. So well done to Petter from Morley. He's given himself the little finding a $52 winner, and he texted in once again after Count the Lot last Sunday, Pinjarra, which won at $82 odds, and said he backed that too. So
wow,
I'd be hanging out with Petter from Morley. Not that that would be overly high on the priority list, but
Boys are texting. They're on for a frothy at the Civic right now if you're available. Ooh, tempting.
The Civic, not a place I frequent too often.
No, but it's the $8 Swan Drafty pints.
Wasn't that famous for the old
bands?
Grab a Granny Night or something
Oh,
like that?
I don't know about. Is it? Was it? It used to have a lot of good live music there in its day.
Right.
Still built that way by the look of it.
You just went there for the music.
Hasn't moved
that old
on.
line, Mark.
Dutchie's weighed in as well, our good friend.
Dutch.
He says there's a few things going on that have got his Tanasi Kokonakis absolutely Dwayne Johnson at the moment. The Oz Open's firing.
Yes.
Bunga Hearn's firing. And a certain photo of a singleted Bradley McManus I come across each day in my camera roll. When I'm feeling down, I look at that photo and I imagine him telling me I can have it again, champion. And then and then him saying I took the unders as well. That's great gear. That's great gear. And a couple of Dutchie's best bets for the weekend. Race 3, Medusa, and race 5, Flower in the Wind.
In agreement with one of those.
Okay, now this first race looks like there's for a little small sneaky field over 1,000 metres. Is there a bit of pressure here?
Intriguing affair, isn't it, Rolls? I'm not even sure who's going to lead out of Salt Lake Shake, Capricorn Man talking gibberish, and maybe even Star Power.
Yeah, there's some speedy, that's for sure and certain. I don't like it, but I'm going to give another strike. One more. The headgear goes on, Mart. The blinkers are on for the first time. And I just think, if not Saturday, then
When?
never.
Yep.
Life. Done.
The non-noir tattoo is in texture on the arm, but it's about to get a permanent tattoo if...
Yes. It is. 100% it is. I just think this is the perfect setup for another strike with the speed engaged, back to the 1,000 metres, blinkers on, looked home and hose at the 200 last start before the sniper came out, and Rocket Juice shot up the rail and grabbed him late in the piece. Ran super over the 1,000 fresh this campaign behind Divine Belief, and you can make a case from that run. He's in the finish with better luck, and you just think this is his race, and it's in the non-wire file for me, Bradley, if the weekend's not the day, and on a program where bets for me are very, very few and far between. Another strike is one that I'm happy to bet into at the $3.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I'd need obviously a bigger price than $3, but it's not just about how suitable it looks for another strike. It's about how unsuitable it could possibly be for almost every other horse in the race. Like Rocket Juice back to 1,000 metres, that has to be a bit of a query. You've got these, 3 or 4 horses that would probably prefer to lead to be able to see their best, and only one of them is obviously going to be able to do that as well. So it does certainly look the obvious, Smart.
Yeah, it does. I'm tempted. To stay with Rocket Juice. I was pretty happy with that win the other day.
Nice win.
The way it burst clear when it got its chance.
Yep. Race number 2.
Okay, new producer's doing well too. What's her name? Renee. Race number 2, the Liberties Insurance Plate. It's over the 1,200 metres. And 1 Brazen Bid, 11. 2 London's Image, 440. 3 Maddie Girls, 6 into 550. 4 Golden Vale, 550 into 390. Clean 'em Up is $8. Desert Whispers, 420. Ragnar Rocket at 41. And Star Supreme, 11 to 950. But the first of the day goes to Golden Vale.
Star Supreme, nice little early 200 there at the $11. Nice shopping early. Desert Whisper, there's a couple of $400 bets at the $4.20 and the $4. Your Golden Vale, they got stuck in early. There's someone stepped into retail and
Went bang.
Whether Mr. Miller maybe gave a little sports update on a Thursday morning or not, who knows? But there we've had bets of 500 at the 550, another 500 at the 550. 600 at the $5, 700 at the 440. So that's a good little early setup there. Golden Vale punters keen Rolls.
Yeah, tricky race, not one of mine. There's a few angles you could take here. I thought Bradley. London's Image is a really intriguing runner, and I found such a difficult horse to line up. She's been freshened 7 weeks since we last saw her, running second behind Cashel Palace in a Listeria at 1,400 metres. Put together a remarkable campaign when last in work, and should have the speed, I think, with that freshness in the legs to kick through and either lead or box seat from barrier 1. She's comfortably the best in under the conditions of the race from a ratings perspective, set weights and penalties. But off the campaign that she's had, it wouldn't surprise if she came out and won this race. But there's a bit of depth here around her. Golden Vale ran super in the Placid Arc, and Lucy Fiori's got plenty of options from that barrier. Looks to be a bit of speed in this race, which would suit a horse like Maddie Girl, who was luckless off a freshen in the Max Simmons over the 1,000 metres and would have beaten home, I thought, the stablemate with any luck on that certain occasion. I could make a case that the price differential between that pair is probably a bit large for mine. I thought Maddie Girl would have ran straight past Golden Vale in that 3-year-old classic had she got clear galloping room when she needed to. And even a horse like Clean 'Em Up, who's been spat out a bit by the market, gets 1.5 kilos on Maddie Girl from their last meeting when beaten under 0.1 of a length on that occasion. And Golden Vale under the same weight conditions when beating her home, and Desert Whisper in a similar vein as well. So she gets this race to filly really well from a weights perspective. Race first up on Cup Day behind Schmoove Mover and Supernatural, and without a trial on that occasion, did a lot of the bullocking work and only peaked late in the race. I'm interested to see where she gets to in the run here with the speed drawn both underneath her and outside of her. But if she's improved off that first up run off a break, Brad, you could certainly make an each-way case for Clean 'Em Up as well at the $8.
Yeah, leave me out of this, Roz. The last time I was just confused was when I walked into Marty's bathroom, so we're better off just moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, don't overthink it. It is what it is. Hey, text here, Retrovision. They're coming for the Mauler a bit after last week. He went 0 from 9.
Hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, unless you're in Hong Kong.
Oh,
but it wasn't Hong Kong, it was Ascot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No wonder he's drinking the $8 specials at the Civic.
But he has sent them in, and he has asked if I'm reading them out. You've got one more chance there, champ.
We did have a text last week. It's 2025 and the Mauler still has a segment.
Well, this is about it. This is the decider. He's with Rocket Juice in the first and Desert Whisper.
So we've got the Mauler.
In the second.
We've got the Mauler in the same basket as another strike. Last chance saloon.
Careful with that. Louis will be listening. He'll come for you. Race number 3, the Magic Millions Plate, 1,200 metres. Today's show brought us by Magic Millions too, so that catalogue is online for the big sale here, which will get underway 2021, I think it is, isn't it? Feb 2021 from memory.
Yeah, cash for comments.
Are you working?
No, I'm not. I won't be.
That's why you're dirty on them.
Well, what's this one on the books, Mart? Or?
Yeah, it's on the books, yeah. West is Best at the 2025 Perth Yearling Sale. So hop online now, magicmillions.com.au. David Howson, he'd just about be back from the Gold Coast. Will he stay over for that race meeting tomorrow night? Probably. The great man. He'll be listening.
The great man with the colourful pants.
Oh, yes.
Have already given that catalogue a solid fingering, Mart, and there's plenty to go on with.
Is there?
The Magic Millions catalogue, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm up to about lot 22. Been a bit going on, but we're doing our best. The Magic Millions Plate, back to that, 1,200 metres. One True Fiction is 51. 2 Aberdeen Flyer, 950. 3 Bose a Lad, 23. 4 Medusa, 750 to 6. Yes, Buster Spect. Geez, Harrow's burst back into a bit of form, hasn't he? 31 into 26. 6 is Golden Opera. Second of the day, 330 to 260. Our Naughty Secret for Wolfie's 21. Perfectly Proper, $4. Invincible Sin is 23 from 31. Number 10, Messina, 12 into 750. And 11, Queen Celsi is 20. Celise, is it? So they like a few here.
Indeed, Mart.
Well, you'd hope so with the 2-year-olds.
It's a lovely, intriguing affair to decipher this one. Eastern States Pro Money, 2,000 by 2,000, Golden Opera. Also another 600 there, Golden Opera at the 310. Messina, 500 places at the 290. Medusa, 400 at the 650. More Golden Opera money there, another few $300 bets. Bit of Queen Celeste snipping there down the bottom too. This is a great little betting race.
Yeah, tricky race, tricky 2-year-old race, but yeah, looks a nice race to see where a few of these are at. Bradley, nothing of the debutante brigade has really overly jumped out at me for this. To be honest, I thought the trial of Medusa was good. He was getting home really nicely late in the piece after getting a long way off them. Aberdeen Flyer took out that trial, but it was only a really slowly run trial over the 1,000 metres and just looked a type, Aberdeen Flyer, who might appreciate getting out over a little bit further in time. Looks quite a bigger Scopia type. It has drawn barrier 1, which is always a plus on debut. I love the debut effort of Perfectly Proper, Brad, who had a checkered passage in the straight. She just travelled into the corner really well and looked to only be really winding up late between horses when she did finally get clear galloping room. Tash Faithful copped a little suspension for the ride on that occasion when trying to get this horse into the clear. Chris Parnham jumps on, drawn another really good gate and should improve with that race day experience up to the 1,200 metres, which I think suits her better as well. From a price point, Mart, I would suggest that she's the bet at the price over Golden Opera, who I am very much respecting of with the start that she's made to her career. She's chased home hard in both efforts to date, gets another really good chance to break through. Thought maybe she was perhaps just peaking a little very late last start over the 1,100 metres, so that was just maybe my slight knock on watching that or reviewing that race. She was in last start behind Do I Feel Lucky, who won very impressively. And just one other I wanted to make note of as well, down the page, 20-1 at the moment. Queen Celeste, I thought, arguably went better in her most recent trial behind stablemate Bannard and Girls on Fire, who are horses that many made horses to follow after their debut runs last Saturday. Brad, I thought this filly was just as good, if not better, as that pair in that trial. But I think it would be some time since Jess Vallis last rode a Saturday winner. No disrespect to Jess, but
she hasn't been riding.
She hasn't been riding for quite some time either. So
what better way to put one on the board than on Saturday? And I agree, that 20-1 is a getting towards an attractive each way commodity. I also want to back Perfectly Proper, Rolf. I'd like to see $5. I'm just not sure if it'll get there, but it is heading the right way. Plenty of respect for Golden Opera. One at the moment that's getting me Aberdeen Fly is $14 around the traps. I think it just hit the front in the trial and just decided to have a good old look around. I think there's plenty under the tank there and sets up nicely for this debutante. So that's one I'll be looking at as well.
Any thoughts on how Simon Miller's going? He's stable at the moment. I counted yesterday 10 winners in about 28 days.
Yeah, I think he's going at 150%.
So he's got 2 in this. Messina.
They'll probably both win.
Yep. I'll dead heap for,
Blinker's first time with the Tessort filly for My Racehorse. The microshares.
Your specialty.
Don't look me straight in the eye when you say that.
Oh, careful.
What's our man doing? What's he up to?
I swear it's not mine, baby.
Our man Duppy has texted in. He's in McGinnity's famous way of saying, Riley and Mart, you can both have it again with your best defensive team guesses. Yeah. That's good gear.
I don't know why I just didn't get the AFL ladder up.
Yeah, he says, how could you not have the dogs with the lobster holding it down? He said, Duppy's been well below his tipping best and thought I'd reward myself by looking through all of Wesley John's tweets at work, but it was a real shame HR had to walk in unannounced.
No, you won't get him. He's just playing out a little suspension at the moment. He got 14 days off Mr. Musk last week, but he'll be back. It's only 14 days.
Oh, that's good. One and done for the Duff. And he says Memory Parade will not be losing. Oh, that's good stuff. 14 days suspension.
And they barrack for the same team.
Why Mr. We're not going further with that.
All right. We're on to race number 4, the Peters Investments Handicap over the 1,200 metres. Start time here at 3 o'clock. And here's another stable just hitting a bit of form. Arthur Daly Maley. Big day on it. 51 into 31. Rogues Pointers 19 from 23. Avoidance 16 into 8. Scratchings here? No. Lonsdalete's 12 into 10. Boab Boy 12 to 10. Cruise to Victory 850. Kraken Time, half brother 2. 38 into 350. Ain't so bad as 9 to 550. There's one for you, champ. Cavallo Red 31. Memory Parade $4.20. Split Jete 71 and Trespassing is 81. There's been a bit of money flying around here, hasn't there?
Yeah, good old-fashioned differences of opinion affair, this one, Mart.
DOPs.
Memory Parade, 600 at the 440. Ain't so bad. Well, there's 600 places there at the 245, but there's also 200 wins, 300 wins, another 200 wins there. Ain't so bad. So maybe a bit more market merging, that one, but still there. Avoidance, fair dinkum. They wanted to be on this. 200 at the 16, 200 at the 16, 200 at the 13, another 200 at the 13, 300 at the 10, 200 at the 10. Yeah. Yeah. And plenty of just this little localised snipping for horses like Boy. There's 7 or 8 decent 200 bets there. Oh, yeah. And another one there, Kraken Time, which had to get supported at some stage, and there's certainly some money there too, including 200 at $3.30. So you can GST your bet, pal.
Oh, get back in line and go again. Bit of speed here, Brad.
Looks a nice, even setup, doesn't it, in regards to every horse getting their chance?
Yeah, it certainly does. I was pretty keen to get involved here. Mart, happy to have a little back save here with two horses I had at the top of the market in Memory Parade and Kraken Time, just from a reliability aspect and having a bit more faith in her. I'm leaning towards Memory Parade as the result, particularly at the price as well. I thought she was a big follow off her trial and then her first up run over the unsuitable 1,000 behind Valsacina when closing off in some of the best late splits of the meeting and essentially identical late splits to the winner on that occasion as well. Run under the belt up to 1,200. Not the fastest of horses early, Memory Parade, and could end up in a sticky little spot, but drawn an alley in a race where the speed looks to be genuine enough. I just thought she looked a really nice play, second up at 1,200 metres, but don't want to be losing on Kraken Time, who was a good thing beaten after bombing the start on Cup Day and somehow almost still got the job done. It does look a good race for him with the tempo profile, but he just has to begin with them on this occasion, Brad, fair to say, and that is still a bit of an unknown as he's not the most reliable of horses, is he, at this stage of his career?
You wouldn't be aware of this. I run a little monthly subscription page of ways to get beaten, and Kraken Time has been subscribing for 20 straight months. And it'll find a new one. Like, it's a bit of a concern. This horse is untapped. He's got that much potential, but it's got to be... It'll get to the stage where it hits the front, turned around and waves at you and gets beaten. It's time to put it on the board, I think. So, and this is the day it looks like happening. The way I'm looking at the race a little bit differently, as you alluded to, there seems enough pace. These good quality midfield types like your Kraken Times and your Memory Parades, etc., should travel nicely into the race around the corner, etc. And I'm looking at a horse like Lonsdaleete at the double figure price to get on the back of those two, get around there and have a really good dip at them late. You can already make a few form lines through Lonsdaleete and what's the Miller horse, Shooting Spirit? And Kraken Time, I think, if my memory doesn't fail me there. You can make some really strong forgiveness excuses for Lonsdaleete last start, put an absolute pen through it. So I'm pretty happy to get involved each way at double figures, Mark.
So you're on Lonsdaleete, and Riles, you're going a back and slap.
Back and slap with Memory Parade, Kraken Time. I've got plenty of respect for Ain't So Bad, who certainly deserves her chance in Saturday company. Now, has charged through the grades, very attractive racing pattern, not a lot of weight on her back. I just think this is certainly a lot harder than the races she has been recently going around in, and she is now back in distance from 14 to 12, fourth run of the prep. So,
all right, we'll take a break. Ah, yes, we're up to race number 5 for Drummond Golf out there at Ascot on Saturday of the 2100 metres. Start time is 3:35. And let's have a look at the betting here for Tab Touch. One Flower in the Wind is 7 to 6.50. Rockin' Society 3.10 into $2. Wow, they're on again. Noteworthy 7. Flash Paddy 20. Stormageddon 7 to 6. Crazy's 41. For Your Eyes is 16 from 20. God's Garden is 31. High Boy 151. Mystical Man 16. Rock Legacy's 31. Tiff's Lad 51.
Never seen that one before, Ross.
What's that?
The old understated hidden meerkat. Still crouched meerkat, that one.
Hidden meerkat.
3.10 into 2.
That's more like it,
Yeah.
Mark. That's more like it. Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, well, I was sort of siding with you a little bit there because they just back this horse every start, don't they?
It's getting a bit like that. 1,000 at the 310 early, then another 1,200 at the 270.
You hit the wrong button.
1,600 at the 235. 500 at the 250. That's pretty much it in regards to wagering for the race. It's been the each way bet Mystical Man there, 250 each way, and another 250 each way Stormageddon.
Yeah, you have to respect what he's doing. The top, well, not the top weight, but Rocking Society. See no reason why he can't outstay them again. Weight does stop trains, but I thought he was super tough, seeing off Alaskan in a 2-horse war last start with the 59. As we know, carries a 60 here, and this field is no deeper. Gets another very favourable map from that draw. Just no fun at the $2 odds for me. Bradley, going to make a case for one down the page, and from a market sense, Flash Paddy down on the 54.5 kilos can really run a race here. I thought he was the run of the meeting on review last start at Pinjarra behind Ocean Zara over the mile. He drops 3 kilos off his back here, gets out to what I think is a more suitable trip, and he's clearly humming off that last start performance. I might be going a run early with him, but with a 5.5 kilo pull on Rocking Society, I'll be watching for Flash Paddy making a real race of this late in the piece. Noteworthy brings intrigue through a very slowly run Latrice. Has never been tried at this stage of her career up over the staying journey. Not entirely convinced that she is a genuine stayer, but this is a big drop in class, and there doesn't look to be a great deal of speed in the race, Brad. High Boy looks the only real genuine speed horse. A few of these have got tactical speed, but aren't horses that generally park up there in front or right over the speed in any case. And Flower in the Wind, another horse that has to be respected. Did get a race run to suit from where she got to in the run in that Perth Cup last start, but was unlucky not to be in the finish in this company 3 starts ago behind Kisses from Kelly. So there's respect there for her as well, but she's not one of mine. Flower in the Wind.
I'm interested in Flower in the Wind. I'm just thinking Rocking Society's at the stage now where it's just as short as it should be, considering the it's been obviously copying its penalties for every run. It's been doing it really well, but has to come a time where you
just got to keep laying it as a bookie boy, don't you? You'll get it beat sooner or later.
Flower in the Wind's there's a run 3 starts ago where it definitely should have taken care well and truly of Kisses from Kelly. Has the ability to carry weight, and this is a nice setup where they should at least stack to the point where there can be a few moves at the right time, so hopefully can get cover and go around, and we see what we've got there with Flower in the Wind. Happy to find out at that price. Can make a case for a few that you've also mentioned, Rolls, in Noteworthy and
Flash Paddy's a big price.
Flash Paddy,
Massive price.
Big price.
Yeah, went up.
He'll run a race.
Yeah, went up went a fair bit short of Flash Paddy, so it's drifting out to a nice price now.
Yeah,
Mart, interesting with Noteworthy, Mart. The Damn Neverland. You'd know a bit about.
He's been there.
Not sure he left. Was a staying mare, wasn't she?
I think she was.
Went all right from all reports.
One of Bob's staying mares.
Loving this new producer.
Mick's trotter got away here as well. That was the main thing. It jumped.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're on.
Duppy's on.
Dup's on the trotter. Race 5, number 9, just a bit dusty. Perfect for you, Dubster. And also to Wayne out there, Drummond Golf. How's your golf going? If you're in trouble, get out and see Wayne. Drummond Golf, Aussie Park. He'll straighten you up. Get on the simulator.
Should get out to see Wayne then, in that case, Braddles.
Not a big goal for you?
Try to be.
All right.
You can get onto one.
Just lacking in talent and hand-eye coordination.
You can get onto one.
General athletic ability.
You used to play a bit of golf, didn't you, Mart? Back in your days on the goldfields?
Oh, not on the golf fields. They didn't have the good golf course up there. Then we're on the dirt. Oh, no, we've played a bit around the place, but not anymore. The Studco handicap, it's over the 1,100 metres. I think we're in trouble here. Unless that 5 looks like a 9. It's not a 9, is it?
No, it's a 5.
Yeah. Keep reading. 20. Ice Picnic, 950. 3 Bay Z, 14. Street Parade, 34. Lexington City, 650 into 5. 6 Snow Prince, 13 into 10. 7 All Plays, 320 to 265. 8 Son of the Boss is $16. Under Influence is 20. Celestial Storm is 5 to 440. Oh, so yeah, it's a bit. Come on,
son of the.
Come on, Renee. Sharpen up a bit.
Just went to make a coffee.
Was she?
Oh, the Lexington Smart.
Yeah, you got to get them out.
1,700 places at the 225. All play. Quinella. 1,000 at the 320 and another 1,000 at the 320. Celestial Storm, 500 each way at the 480. Son of the Boss, 300 each way there at the bigger price. Snow Prince, 200 at the $13. Good little betting affair, Ross.
Yeah. Where did you have All Play landing in the run here, Bradley?
Oh, just somewhere sort of on pace, just off them.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that's a bit of a...
It's tricky. It's a bit tricky. It could be potentially troublesome for All Play because Snow Prince isn't exactly slow out of the barriers, drawn 1. You've got Celestial Storm, who has really good early speed from 3. Lexington City will try and lead, drawn in 4. I could see a scenario where All Play could get shuffled back on the fence, even 3 the fence, which would be a concern for the pretty headstrong horse that he is in terms of how he goes about his business.
At least to its advantage, it's got that turn of foot to get itself out of trouble. But with Bayesian and Dice Picnic out wide and Son of the Boss, Street Parade all on their day known to sort of go forward as well. So it could be, spat right out the back if things do go that way.
Yeah, Lexington City, Celestial Storm, All Play all hit the line in unison essentially. Last start with All Play getting the upper hand late. Lexington City had to do a fair bit of work to get across them last start. Should get to the front a bit easier here. Celestial Storm either breezes or lands one out, one back, going well enough to win, I think. And All Play just has that X factor where that untapped ability where we still don't know where his ceiling is. I still think the faster they go, the better that he'll go. But he could end up in a tricky little spot in running here for mine. Horse that I have huge respect for, I just can't map him, is Ice Picnic. He is a ripper when he's fresh. You look at his last 3 fresh runs on WA debut. He won in 72 plus company, led throughout. Freshened up 5 weeks in June, ran second behind Rope Them In, beating home Triple J, Rock and Rupert. Freshened again from that run 6 weeks, ran second in 72 plus company behind Storm Chaser, who was flying at the time. So he's a very good, very reliable commodity when he's fresh. Ice Picnic, I just can't map him for the life of me, Brad. It's an issue.
Similar vein with a horse like Bayezid, who's genuinely going super. Won nicely at Geraldton, did a bit of work, did the job well, then went to Albany and was a replay watchers would have noted that Bayezid was quite stiff. So that same thing there. I can't really map it. So do you work to the breeze or
You try to.
who knows? Yeah. So it's one of those races for mine, Mart, where I'll be sort of just staying out or having a small wager.
So race 7, the Key Clean Handicap, second leg of the major quad, 4:35 start time. This is over the 1,400 metres. Let's play it for old time's sake. 1 Ascot, 13. 2 Above the Peg is 21. Defending, 13. And Fluoro Neuro, 17. Not Secret, 16. Rissoles, not a lot of luck last start, 484.40. Soldanella's 14 to 12. Bit of specking Starring Night, 16 into 12. And our girl, Blue Lagoon, 21 into 15. How's she been going? All right, yeah, okay. And then Hostile Talk, 480 to 460.
Rookie.
Kalima's $5 and On Patrol, well, they've come again, 26 into 19. It'll get there one day.
Oh, that'll be markets merging.
Yeah, okay. DOPs,
Yeah.
Get back,
MMs.
get back in your box, mate, over there.
MMs, DOPs. What else we got?
We got a large
Eastern States Pros.
Oh, yeah.
win by place.
ESPs. And what about the
the
SMs?
ESPs.
The sharp monies.
Smart money.
You haven't heard this many initials since you've been at the health clinic, Mart.
Pronouns.
Yeah. No. Sold an L, a nice win and place bet there of the $14 to win 10 grand. Rissoles, 500 at the 480. Sold an L, another 300 at the 14. Yeah, Brookie money, a couple of hundred each way at the $15. Ascot, a couple of hundred at the $15. Starring Night, local pro money, Mart. Did we cover that? Local pro?
LPM.
LPM.
Yep.
Pretty much it.
Well, what would be a fun assignment for you, Brad, is framing a market on who leads this race.
I'll have a go at it.
I'd have one even money, I think.
Would you?
Yeah.
Which horse?
It's got a jump at defending.
Yeah, okay. That's
But gee, it can...
would be
it can
favourite.
miss.
Would be favourite in my market.
Can miss, can't it? So,
Would certainly hold favouritism, but don't know if defending wants to lead. But I think this is a race to do it. He was going super before a luckless run. Fitzpatrick last start. I think you can be forgiving of that. And if Holly is able to lead and dictate here on this horse, I think she'll give them absolutely something to run down. Her 2 runs prior
100%.
behind Miss Sky High and Investment Strategy would hold her in very good stead in this field, or him in very good stead in this field, I think.
I concur.
Mm.
Do you concur, Mark?
Yeah, go on.
You could talk about just about every runner in this field, and we're going to miss a few that are winning chances probably. Ascot's in career best form. Will want to land leaders back. I don't think they wanted to lead on this horse. Only beaten a couple of lengths by Fast Flicker last start. I think they've worked this horse out. I thought he was a more on-speed, grindier, cruising speed type, but the way he let rip last start was not something I've seen since he's been here in WA. So I think it's good use of the claim because they had to. I doubt he would have been able to win this race with the 60 in a field of this depth. So don't mind that at all, and think he's a genuine winning chance as well if he can follow defending, if defending does lead in the run, or whoever does lead in the run into the straight. Rissoles is a horse, Marty, I know you're a big fan of, and as am I. On the back up, stepping up to 14. Just got a mile back last weekend from that wide draw. The winner, Angel Undercover, got that flowing run into the race. Chris had to check off multiple sets of heels to get clear with her. I think if you swap the runs, you swap the results there last weekend. Tactics are going to be interesting. I suspect they're likely to go back again in a race that looks to have no tempo. So that's the risk you do run. Backing a horse like Rissoles in this field, you'd probably want a price, and you're getting a half-decent price. All honesty, I think, to be finding out. Kalima will pinch one now that I've hopped off. Fresh is best for her, and she's been freshened up a month between runs here. What did you make of the first up run of Fluoro Neuro, Brad?
I thought it was very forgivable versus the sort of apparent flow and bias of the race.
Flow.
Floor.
Okay. How about the Shooting the Wind Gelding, Starring Night?
Flying in Geraldton and has been belting them as well.
It has been copping some money too.
clearly a happy horse, but this is a lot harder.
Mart, Heskett's breeding Fastnet Rock out of Hard Rider.
I see that.
What would you have named it?
Probably would have named it Heskett.
But you probably also would have had your first 25 applications rejected, Mart. Racing Australia would have get no more from you, champion.
Blocked his
That's
email.
about enough.
Blocked his number and his email.
Refer to WC. Cameron.
So for me, I like one here, Hostile Talk.
Wow.
Yeah. $5 around the traps each way.
Why not?
1,400 is bit of an unknown, a slight concern. Whilst it doesn't have a heap of gate speed or doesn't seem to, I still think just by design it probably lands, one of the ones with the best turn of foot that lands close enough.
Yeah.
Right man on board, horse in undeniable form. It's come back. I think it's come back a better horse this prep.
Yeah. Wouldn't have picked you to pull out Hostile Talk in a race of this nature. But yeah, I can see it.
Out of the good mare lip service as well.
And I think
she went around all right.
I think from that
enough from you, Mart.
I think from that last start win, Kraken Times run gained most of the attention because he bombed the start and he had to make that big sweeping run around them and has gone down in the bowl. But Hostile Talk was under the double wraps, absolutely bolting, looking for a run until about 150 metres to go before he got out and was able to blouse them. So I thought it was a terrific win, but this is certainly a little bit harder, I think, than that race last start.
Horses coming into the yard for this next event at Bunbury. We are on to race number 8 now, third leg of the Quaddie, Celebration of Life Day Trophies, a ripper over the 1,500. Really good field, this. Spent, I reckon, an hour on it last night and got confused. One fast flicker is 5.50 into 4, always back, don't they? They're always back. Fear the Wind is 34. Les has got plenty.
That was a retracted meerkat. He half turned his head and then...
Rushing to the bar, you heard Scotty mentioning it, $9. Bonjoy, 4.20 into 3.30. They want to be on it again. Bruce. 18 into 15. Good on you, Demarge. Own the Queen, 4.60, 4.20. Weapon Sun, 61. Grant Lilyman out there at Morley Mitsubishi. Antique Miss, $11. Then we go to number 9, Rusty Dreams is 15. Atlantis Beach is 81. Benji's 151. And Cool Memory, 18 into 13.
Yeah, Mart. Been some money flowing, goes without saying. Bonjoy, Eastern States Pro, 700 at the 420.
Yes,
Local Sharpie, 700 at the 340. Own the Queen, 600 at the 420. Fear the Wind. Been some huge each way early money there at the bigger price.
Run a race fresh.
250 each way. 200 wins, 500 places. Another 250 each way. Fast Flicker, a couple of Eastern States Pros. Happy to be involved at the 550 there. A couple of $500 bets. Even Cool Memory garnering a little bit of attention down the bottom there, rolls each way.
Yeah, you can see that.
Cracking race and a great betting race, which is what it deserves.
I think this race came up a little bit stronger than many of us might have expected. You go back and look at a couple of previous fields of the Celebration of Life Day Trophy. No disrespect to it, but not exactly as strong as this field that we get on
Saturday. Imagine if you were at Connections and you go, you had it circled in the calendar going, we'll dodge the carnival, but we might pick off this 78 plus, and oof.
Hang on a minute. Yes, very strong, very strong. But a race that I was scratching my head a bit, Brad, I'll be honest. Trying to separate a few of these on paper and just weights and measures. It looks a really good race for Own the Queen. Fast Flicker was able to just hold her off first up this campaign when she was absolutely charging home at a rate of knots late in the piece. She gets 3 kilos on Fast Flicker here. She gets 4 kilos on Bonjoy for a 0.04 length defeat in the Starstruck the last time they met. She just gets to this race incredibly well from that sense. Drawn a nice barrier to hold a midfield cover spot in running off what looks a genuine enough tempo with the horses engaged in the race. It's just, I don't know. 18 back to 15. Is she looking for a drop back in trip? Maybe. Just not completely sold, Brad. This is probably the best way to put it. And there's a few at odds I think you could make genuine cases for as well. Fast Flicker is going super. She could just about kick through and lead here once again. The 60 kilos for a mare is a bit of an ask, but she's seriously tough, and who's to say that she can't do it? She was dominant in that easing wild from the breeze last start when not able to find the fence in running. And a horse that is over my price is Cool Memory, who I thought was a super, super run first up in his company, then went down to Albany off a setback, had a pretty tough run. Not sure that was the best placement of the horse off such a gap between runs. So I think this is much better. It's going to suit him a lot better. No surprise to see him really improve here as well.
Yeah, it was a good whack by you, Ross. Was $18 before the pro money turned up there for Cool Memory, so we've missed the price.
It's just an opinion.
Oh, it's an opinion-based game.
Yeah.
It's opinion with a bit of weight behind it, like a little bit of
race programming.
Not really. It was more I just thought it was for a horse who was always going to do his best work over a bit further with these runs through the winter, where he's run super in a Belmont Guineas and an Aquanita off a setback. So
I've got plenty of respect for that horse heading into this race as well. So yeah, one of those races for me, everyone's going to probably pick out a different one, aren't they? Or you need to preach forgiveness probably for a couple, or forgive a setback for another, or forgive a afterthought barrier sticky map for another. You've got to forgive, or you've got to factor in weight for another. It's just
I think the Pierces
do your best.
I think the Pierces are pretty keen. They've got the 2026 Perth Cup winner resuming in this race on the weekend.
He's been trialling well.
Fear the wind.
Yeah,
Nice
by
trial.
Fiorenzo.
Very nice
Good
trial.
point. Bang on 5 o'clock. Now, we need an update here for the Maulers tips. So here we go. We got to race 5, and Rocking Society's his best. Price was that?
Evens.
Right.
Now, I'm sure he got the 310.
One off the...
He's gone for all play to win. Race 7 is with Heskett the Place. This is a new phenomenon from the Morley. He's throwing place bets in. Race 8 is with Fast Flicker. He seems to have it into that Triscari camp. And I'll save the last up our sleeve and keep our listeners in
Suspense.
suspenders.
Well, one of our listeners isn't happy, and
nor he should be.
Duffy's requesting. He says, maybe we can do a tipping comp, head-to-head, the Dup v. the Mauler, so we can finally stop hearing his tips on the show.
The Mauler. He pays a lot of good cash to me just to come on, just for the tips. Has his 2 daughters listen every afternoon. They drive around and say, "Oh, Dad's tips are still going on the radio. He's pretty good, So I've got to keep doing it for him. Have a look up there at that score in the tennis. Wow. Your man from Wesley
School Kate
has taken the first set against Sinner.
That's... What would the odds on that have been?
6-4.
That would have been huge odds.
On Rod Laver Arena. The kid. Wow, he'll never forget that. Good on him. We're only talking about that with Ben Patton. Was it Ben? Anyway.
Ben Patton played for St Kilda.
I don't think it was him then. Somebody. Oh, come on. The last event of the day, and he's been in great form, Peter Morley. He's won races again at Bunbury. Just leave something for the battlers, Pete. Ballast Racing Stables' 30th birthday handicap over the 1,800 metres, and one is Savorsky at $34. Savorsky, 2-star rating, 15. I do it on purpose. I dreamed of dreams 12. 4 Longines is 18 into 10. Wow, look at that. 5 Romeo's $8. 6 Why Me at 4. 7 Magic Whistle 17. Number 8 His Eminence is 23. 9 Antique Queen 440 into 390. A 10 Barramundi 16 into 11. Wow. 11 Knock One Back is 26 into 18. 12 Boys Light Up is 34 from 41. Expelloramus is 41 to 26. Henry Has Spoken is 61. And Play Fair is $21.
What price is Savorsky, Martin?
Savorsky, 34.
Savorsky, 250 each way at the 21.
Mm-hmm.
Antique Queen, 600 at the 440. Romeo, 300 at the 850. Long Jeans, a couple of hundred at the 13. Barramundi, a couple of hundred at the 16. They are both Eastern States Pro supported.
Okay. ESPs.
Romeo is a local pro. A little bit of local sharp money play fair. And that's it.
LSM. Local sharp money.
Mm.
I could listen to a show on this radio station. I'd sit there for half an hour and just listen to you butcher horse race names.
I only do it for this show. I'm pretty good for the rest of the week, but for this show, I just saved my best.
Best work.
Yeah.
Nah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
We appreciate it. Yeah, jeepers. Jeepers, Bradley.
Poor Mark, just a young fella trying to do his
Yeah,
job.
doing my best.
Getting abused.
Poor Vince having to price this one up after getting through 8 of the best. Nice easy finish. Not today, Bradley.
I think I might have done this one first.
Oh, I did it first. Get out of the way.
Sometimes do the big field first before you're...
Surely this just ruins your mood, though, for the rest of the card.
Are you sticking with Why Me?
Oh, wow.
You're not a sticker. It's not your caper, is it really?
This race is not my caper. This
come
particular
on.
race.
It's not his bag, baby.
1800.
How do you not go past El Patron?
Oh. Yeah, exactly. What happened there?
Oh,
It stood out.
you could not have had enough on when they straightened for home last week. And the first thing I get on Sunday morning is I've had about 4 people. 4 people. You're a shocker. They go, Mart's on the aftermath reading your bets out. He gave you a shout out. I said, what bets? They said,
El Patron. Yeah. Why Me, wasn't it?
yeah. You've had 16,000 on Why Me to get over El Patron. Oh, wow. A great game, eh? But no, all seriousness, can back up and probably win this. But yeah, look, if you can't get past El Patron, you can probably have a week in the sin bin with me.
El Patron might win a couple
Yeah,
now.
he might. To his credit, he may have come back better this time.
Yeah.
Got the Vasari form, Ross.
Yeah, red hot. I genuinely believe that Barramundi can break his maiden in this race in a 60 plus.
Well, you know who you're with, don't you? The Mauler.
His run in defeat last start over the 1800 in that maiden, with the pressure he had to absorb and how quickly they went, he had no right to finish off the way that he did. I think he can lead this, get some weight off his back, and look, there's no stars here. I think he's got genuine ability and genuine upside. It's just obviously interesting placement again as a maiden into a 60 plus on a Saturday. But you know what? He can win this race, and why not have a crack?
And gets a wonderful map.
Yep.
To find out. Just looks a little bit Lionel, this speed map. You've got Barramundi. Who else goes forward? Probably Expelloramus out wide. Henry has spoken. They'll sneak forward maybe.
Magic Whistle hold a spot.
Magic Whistle to definitely hold a spot, and I'd Dreamed a Dream probably hold. They're the two that hold the spots inside there.
Long Jeans will probably kick up and try and hold a position.
Just try and hold it, maybe three back the fence or something.
I think
they can definitely make a case.
I think Knock One Back is at a big price, $18. Pretty impressive win last start in Class 1 company. Just have to be respecting of Arthur Daly's and how they're going at the moment, Mart.
I just love those names because you don't even have to check who trains it, do you? You just say, that'll be... Yep, he trains it.
Arthur. Airborne.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through a couple here.
Yep.
Not going to back them all, but just going to go through a couple. Very surprised that
We've done that
like
before.
Troy Turner's gone with Savorsky over His Eminence. So I think His Eminence has come back really well this prep. So just a bit surprised there. But Magic Whistle, she gets a nice map and is sneaking under the radar a little bit off a pretty solid victory last start. The one I want to sort of back is Antique Queen, but I'm not going to get the $5.50 I need to back it on this sort of sticky setup. The one I'm definitely going to back is Playfair down the bottom, who I think is probably a Saturday class stayer who's just sneaking under the radar a little bit. Was the only horse to make up ground last start and be strong through the line in a race that was just absolutely dominated by the leader's back breeze horse. The win at Narrogin was much better than just a win at Narrogin. Out late, halfway down the straight at Narrogin and still ping through them is hard to do. Form lines may not be great, but they're not putrid for maiden form lines. And the runs before that were actually really solid building runs. I think this might be a nice stayer sneaking through.
Okay.
Sneaking under the radar a little bit.
Strong push for play. Can certainly understand Magic Whistle. I think Magic Whistle's a genuine winning chance as well. Brad, Magic Whistle, Knock One Back and Barramundi all at double figures are all genuine chances in a raffle of a race to finish the day. But why me? Probably
wins.
PI double fives in, Mark.
Yeah, I'd stay with why me.
Would you?
Instead, I can't have maidens in 60s. You talk about golden rules, and it probably comes out and wins, and if it does for Teddy in the camp, you beauty. But that is a golden rule.
Apparently, you're not allowed to comment on placement on this show, on this program.
No, I'm wishing you all the best, Ted. But it's a golden rule of mine anyhow. So.
Yeah, it's, you'd
have a few.
It just says, it says a fair bit about this race that this horse can genuinely win as a maiden, I think. Mm-hmm. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay.
I'd love to read the Marty Young.
How long you got?
Yeah, it's a long book.
It had been Braille, wouldn't it?
Morse code in the end. Now, what are we doing our best bets? Because we've got to get moving here. Horses to follow. Oh, no, that's Racing Rewind, isn't it?
That's very good.
Yeah, slim pickings for me, Mark. This is the toughest program for a while. Race 1, Last Chance Saloon with the blinkers on. Another strike for me. Get in and get it early, I hope. I think it looks a perfect setup for him with the headgear going on. Race 4, Back and Save. Play for me, Memory Parade and Cracking Time. Unless something wild goes from a market sense, wild happens there. Likely Memory Parade, the result, save on Cracking Time. Going to have something, just a little slither, Mart. Not usually my stomping ground, but something small on Flash Paddy.
Yes.
Each way at the 20s.
Yeah, I like that.
In the staying race number 5 on the program. And I'm also going to be siding up with Brad McManus, race 3, number 8 for the 2-year-olds with Perfectly Proper. And depending what the market does with Queen Celise, I could certainly entertain having something small on her as well.
Okay. Now, slowly, Brad, because I get about halfway with your, and then I don't write the ends, and then they all won. You did well last week.
Okay. Race 4, Lons Delete, $10 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Race 5, Flower in the Wind.
Yeah.
$7. Race 7, Hostile Talk, $5. Race 9, Playfair each way at May Even Drift, $21 plus.
Henry Playfair.
I do have a sneaking suspicion this might be a decent sort of stayer.
Right. One here off the text line from Eric, and Eric said, Mart, can you give us another Elphinston like you did last week? The boys never mention your winners, do they? And I said, well, it was only $9 best price, but that's okay.
She out getting a coffee. She can't find the trumpet button.
We don't have to worry too much about that, do we?
Well tipped, Mark.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Renee. You've done well.
That wasn't champagne.
Someone has to hold us up.
Flemington race 10. We're out a bit wide here, but it does go forward with
well, you do your best work.
14 Revelair at $6.
Revelair?
Yeah.
For the hurdler?
Hey?
For the hurdler?
He branded it a hurdler, yeah. I think it's a bit better than a hurdler.
He branded the horse a hurdler. I'm talking about the jockey.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Didn't brand the jockey.
That's a strong push. The horse looks like a hurdler.
Well, he did say that when he watched the replay of it. And then we're going to Hobart. on Sunday, Summer Cup.
What a
Summer
spot.
Cup. And promises kept. Saw it was working on Tuesday. It worked really well. I know it's a bit short for how I normally tip them, but maybe throw that into. Maybe that's your final leg of a multi, so you have to wait all the way to about the second last at Hobart on Sunday to
Throw that into something at Mount Barker.
Yeah, Barker. What about the sprint?
Yeah, Friday morning.
Time-honoured.
It'll be up Friday morning, time-honoured Mount Barker Mungrop Sprint.
Sponsored by Touch.
Balo's messaged me. He's planning on running the quartet, apparently. Just 4 of the 11 runners, Balo. Just leave something for the battlers, mate.
Thanks. They've got him covered down there. Gupta Nelson and Uncle Hunter.
It's a nice
playing
race.
Rio. They're just shelling peas down there. Sinner 2-all. This Aussie's going well. 6-4 took the first. I've got to check up on our man Fonseca. He won the fourth and now he's locked in a battle with Sanigo at 3-all in the fifth. Oof. So bit of work to be done there. NBL earlier game. Breakers as selected by Chris Pike. 85 beat the Jackies 75. One thing about young Seb Clark, he loves giving the start. He says, can we give the 6.5 start, Mr. Pike? Yes, you can. Well, he's got it right this time. Well done, Seb. Bit of value into that multi there.
Well done, Sebby.
Yeah. And what about the BBL? We've got a game on at the moment.
Do we really?
Yes, there's games coming at us left, right and centre. Free for 111, Brisbane Heat. After 11. Gee, that's a lot of runs, isn't it?
Motoring.
Are they ever against the Hurricanes?
Matty Renshaw.
What's happening there?
Going bananas. Or was going bananas before he got run out. I've switched off from the BBL. I'm in a Perth scorches-induced coma.
They were just travelling beautifully and all of a sudden the wheels fell off.
The wheels. That's one way to put it.
Did they ever? Every time you look up at that TV and there's that new Emirates ad with Penelope Cruz in first class, you sort of think, don't you? You sort of think how unlucky you'd be if you were up there with her. What would your move?
One of yours, I'm assuming, Mark?
You know what? I'd say to the barman, give me a glass of beer, and then I'd just tip it over my head in front of me and say, hello.
Any danger.
All right, 26 past 5 o'clock. That's it for Straight Up. Tell you what, you're very good today, McGinnity.
Yeah, thanks.
In form.
We hope you enjoyed another stimulating episode of Straight Up. All betting markets supplied by Tab Touch. All care, no responsibility went into the production of today's podcast.